Hey, so this is going to be an interesting one. One of the things that I am very interested in and curious about is using the YouTube channel, the multiple YouTube channels we have, and using that to not only sustain ourselves and sustain our channel and stuff, but start financing very low budget films that we can then self-distribute. Because if there's no debt on the film and the film is self-financed, and that we're able to get a lot of bang for our buck because we have built this pipeline of slowly getting bigger and more efficient with our projects on YouTube, then any profit that comes off a self-financed iTunes movie or wherever else is pure profit. And I don't know if that's the proper term, but you know what I mean. We don't have to worry about it going towards paying something else off. So if we're able to be bringing in enough money for YouTube to finance something very small, then adding the money of a film we've finished and put on would make it so that we can up the ante a little bit in the next film, and theoretically do that a couple times and end up having a pretty decent budget for our films. The thing is we got to first get our YouTube channel to be making enough money to be financing those things. And there's a lot of things, not just our YouTube channel, revenue streams through the content we're creating. One of the things that I just was looking into, there's this vlog, I guess she's a vlogger called Shelby Church. I was just watching one of her videos. She was talking about fulfillment by Amazon, FBA. And it's a fascinating thing to learn about, because the whole concept is there's a lot of ways to do it, but let's talk the simplest way, is taking something like Alibaba, where you can buy something very cheap in bulk, and you have that sent to an Amazon fulfillment facility, and you have it packaged, and you have it basically turn into what you guys see as Amazon Prime. Apparently 70% of the stuff you buy on Amazon is people doing something similar to this. The cool thing is, for people that are business savvy and want to make that their endeavor, you don't have to touch the product ever. It can be shipped from one thing to the other. Oh, we're not going down there. That's way too windy. Let's see. Which way do I go? I'll go straight down this way. What was I saying? Oh, you don't have to see even see the product, really, because you can buy it in bulk, have it shipped to the Amazon fulfillment center, and then it gets bought and shipped out from there. And then on top of that, you can be buying the things, and most people are buying the things for, since you're buying in bulk and from China or wherever else, you're buying something very cheap, $1 something, $2, $5, whatever, and then marking it up significantly. So you don't have to see the product, and you make a good profit margin. Obviously, there's the problems with anything where you need to move product is, one, you have to put money down, and two, you have to market the thing and you have to get it out. So that's all cool. Sounds like a way for people to start a business. Had a moment of, is this something neat for a way to finance projects? And I will tell you, the thing that I have learned over the years with being in this film industry and taking work or setting up situations where finance is entirely the point, where I am doing the thing because I know I can make a lot of money at it, and I'm not getting creative fulfillment from it. The thing with that stuff is that I always end up, one, not having any time, because anything like that tends to take up a lot of your time. So I end up spending all my time and making a lot of money. And then at some point I get burnt out and feel like I should take the time to spend that money on creating stuff, because that's the whole point. That's why I'm making this money, is so that I can survive and make stuff. So I'll often take some time off, or step away in some sort of way, and end up going through whatever, a couple months or a year of burning through money trying to make stuff I like. And the problem with that is, then you obviously have a financial model that makes it so that you burn yourself out and are non-creative, and you have the opposite pendulum of that being you don't have a business model for your actual creativity. So that's part of why this whole YouTube thing is interesting to me, is finding a way to take the successes I've seen from other people using YouTube and being able to monetize it and make it sustainable, and turn that into a creative outlet, so that if I do have to spend huge amounts of time doing something, I'm doing something I'm excited about and is building towards something I'm more excited about, you know? Or not even more excited about, just new excitements. So the Amazon FBA thing is definitely something that I look at and go, that's cool, not what I want to do. But the really interesting piece of this is that if you look at how you make money on YouTube, obviously you can do sponsors and merch and, you know, sell music and all the things I'm sure you've seen lots of people do. But the most obvious and probably simplest one, and courses. People love doing courses. Anyway, the one that most people have as their sort of starting point or whatever is AdSense, which is advertising running against a video. And AdSense is something where, you know, if you watch a video for 30 seconds before you click skip, the person you are watching that ad before gets paid. Very small amounts, but they get paid. Unless it's no skip, and then they just get paid no matter what, as long as you make it through the ad enough. I think actually with those, if the ad just runs, you get it. I don't know how that works exactly, but anyway. So there's what's called a CPM, clicks per milli. For every 1,000 views, you get paid a certain amount. And the thing about this is it's heavily dependent on, I'm gonna have to go a different way, that's windy. It's heavily dependent on the context of what the video is titled and talking about and all kinds of stuff. Because different markets have different amounts of money and different returns on advertising. So if you run an ad against I don't know what's a market that's not very high paying. Let's say t-shirts, right? You make a video about t-shirts. The people advertising against t-shirts probably aren't paying a huge amount of money. The people, and it's basically a bidding game. So people are setting how much they're willing to bid to place an ad against a certain word or words, or certain interests that people have that are watching things, or even certain regions that people are watching stuff. Sometimes there's basically you can get really specific. There's like different content creators, like all kinds of stuff. Anyway, so when you choose something to talk about that people are bidding heavily against, the advertising revenue can multiply many times over. So whereas right now I'm making very low CPMs, probably $1 to $2. That's every 1,000 views, I get $1 to $2, right? Pretty bad. But I'm not also focusing on a market that spends a lot on advertising. In the past, I've noticed car advertising has done well. One of the things, though, that is notorious for being one of the highest markets, besides like things like insurance and lawyers and all that kind of stuff, is money. Anything about money. And when I was watching the Shelby Church video, she mentioned that people are advertising really heavily against FBA, fulfillment by Amazon. So theoretically, you could, if you're doing pretty well on YouTube, this channel isn't necessarily doing too great right now, but building it up. And if you are only making $1 to $2 per 1,000 views with an Amazon FBA or other money areas, you could jump up 30 or 50 times as much money, which is significant, because then you need far less viewers to be able to finance the things that I want to finance. So that was sort of what I ended up taking out of that FBA thing, was I'm going to try out talking about money, talking about Amazon FBA, talking about financing films in a vlog, and that's where you are. And I'll probably do an update video if the results are interesting. I'll do an update video where I talk about how this went, or maybe I'll just mention it in one of the other videos. I don't know if that needs its own video. I can just say, it worked. I made 50 times as much money on that video. We'll see. But if it does work, it makes me also think that I should find other ways to talk about finance and how we work with money on our projects. And actually, now that I'm saying that, that's probably interesting whether or not it ends up being that this makes 50 times as much money. I'm saying 50 because it's much more exciting. It'll probably be closer to 30, but still, that's good. So anyway, that's all of that. I'll give you guys an update when I can, and I'll see you tomorrow.